From the time we are children, we have been exposed to the concept of hypnosis. Maybe hypnotism came to your school carnival, or maybe you saw it in some of the common movies you watched as a child. Remember when in Robin Hood, Prince John's snake was practicing hypnotism, and in Jungle Book, the snake Kaa hypnotizes that cat named Bagheera? Today, I'm going to shed some light on this mysterious topic by discussing the history, common methods, and modern uses of hypnosis. Hypnosis has quite a long history. It started back in the medieval times and was commonly associated with dark sorcery and black magic. What we know about it today is owed mostly to the research and experimentation of three main men. The first man was named Franz Mesmer. He was an 18th century physician that practiced animal magnetism, which is what he was calling hypnosis. He thought that a magical magnetic force influenced the humans around him and caused them to respond to his commands. He often tried to treat his patients by placing magnets on them, and he thought that that would draw out the negative energy from within them. Another man continued to use Mesmer's methods, although we don't really think he had a full understanding of what they really were. His name was James Braid. He took notice of this phenomenon called hypnosis and actually gave it its name in the 19th century. He named it after Hypos, the Greek god of sleep. It was not until the late 1880s that the third man I will talk about, Sigmund Freud, tried to come up with another explanation for how hypnosis worked. Freud noticed that hypnosis had the ability to be used as therapy. This therapy was used a lot on the soldiers during World War II. Unfortunately, Freud later rejected this method in favor of his well-known theory of free association, but today many licensed hypnotists still use hypnotism for therapy. Now I would like to talk a little bit more about the methods used to hypnotize someone. Hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness where you are between the stages of sleep and awake. Hypnotized people would appear to be in a deep trance. In order to become hypnotized, a person must do three things. They must believe they can be hypnotized, want to become hypnotized, and also trust the hypnotist. Once a person meets all of these criteria, hypnotism can begin. The first step is relaxation, followed by deeper relaxation, and then falling into a trance. In the olden days, hypnotists would tell people to relax by telling them to watch an object that was swinging in front of them. This was commonly a pocket watch shown here, and the patient would have been standing in front of him. As time went on, hypnotic spirals were put into use. These worked because the spiral was spinning. And I made an example like that. There's several different kinds of the spirals, and they can be like different colors, and they just spin, and they would like look into the center of that. And as your eyes watched the circle spin, it would look at the center, and you would be like drawn into that picture, and you would like your eyes kind of cross, and you just are falling into that. And as soon as the person became dizzy and their balance became wobbly, the hypnotist would know that they were able to give them the first command. Today, the most common thing is to see a hypnotism ask for the person to relax and just close their eyes, relax all the muscles in their body, and you can see that in the kids here. That's like from an entertainment show at like a high school, and they just kind of fall over onto each other and they look like they're a mess. Phrases like "you are getting very sleepy" or "stories said" in calming low tones of voice are also used. Hypnosis can be done by a professional, or you can also be taught to self-hypnotize, which is found in you can read books and stuff like that in order to teach yourself how to do that. And there's also movies and videos. I've never done it, but I've heard that it works. Once a person is hypnotized, there are several main things that you can do from there, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. There are three main uses: entertainment, medical, and business uses for hypnosis. And those are going to be found right there. Hypnosis is done at shows, carnivals, and grad parties, and it is used basically for the comedic value in making people do ridiculous things that are outside of their comfort zone and terribly embarrass themselves and not remember it later. For example, at my school's graduation party, there was a hypnotist who told a bunch of guys that were sitting up in the front that they were in love with their chairs, and they all had to write a love song to it, and they were all down on one knee, and it was really, really funny. And he also brought out women's lingerie and convinced these guys that they were women, and they were dancing around in it, and it was really funny. The second use is medicine, and is becoming increasingly popular to use hypnotherapy to do things like quit smoking or lose weight, and it has also been discovered that it can reduce hot flashes in women. Some have been doubtful and say that it doesn't work. To contradict this, in his article, Frequently Asked Questions About Hypnosis, Hypnotism from 2008, licensed hypnotist Dr. John Koenig explains this criticism for a group therapy setting. He says, quote, "I believe that people who did not achieve results in these sessions either were not truly hypnotized and got lost in the group, or had specific reservations that could not be addressed in a group setting." The third main popular use for hypnotism is in the business setting. Big name employers bring in hypnotists to hypnotize their employees so that they can make new ideas and product pitches and commercials. The only downside to this is that it's really, really expensive, even though it does help people to have, they come up with crazy ideas and they have a lot easier time brainstorming. So Ally McConnell, in a 2008 issue of Business Week, stated that 6 sessions for only 6 to 8 employees can cost upwards of $10,000 to $20,000. I hope that my speech has helped unveil some of your questions about where hypnosis came from, how hypnosis works, and what hypnosis is used for. Now if I could just have everybody do me a favor and close your eyes and relax. And you are getting very sleepy. Okay, just kidding. I just hope that you learned a lot about more of this mysterious phenomenon called hypnosis.